That sounds like a great party. So essentially, we'll jump right in. We'll see what sounds good, and feel free to adjust accordingly. So for anyone watching the recording, you can do it as written or adjust to your time constraint or your ability, or depending on where you are in your training cycle. So essentially, I'll post it first. That might help, but I'll send it to you too, Meg, so you don't have to copy and paste it. So we have 3 times through for our first portion of 10 split Romanian deadlifts. This is your single leg deadlift, but this is more with the foot down. So this implies you can add weight, right? Now, if you prefer or need to go for a more balanced-based piece, just lift the leg and either remove or reduce the weight lifted. Sometimes it helps just to hang on to a weight. So that little kettlebell you have is perfect if you're just looking for a little something to hang on to, but nothing distracting. Followed by 10 sideline clamshells. Just a little lateral hip action there. If you're fancy and have a band, you could put it around your knees. I don't, but like a little PT band, that's fun. It's an option, not a requirement, and you can pick the intensity if you have the option. So a little lighter, a little heavier. We're doing 10 per side there. So they're just kind of doing a little couplet, right? 10 per side of both split Romanian deadlifts, followed by sideline clamshells, which we'll go over in a second. Followed by a 10-minute AMRAP, as many reps as possible. And this is, again, just for some movement here. So you can cap the time or the volume of 8 goblet lunges per side, 20 to 30 second hollow hold, right? Or some sort of, right, isometric, what do you call it? Like ab piece, basically. 10 Supermans, a little extension of the upper back, and 20 mountain climbers. Right. So that last part can be shortened. You can kind of adjust movements based on your feel.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and have you start with well, yeah, let's start just real quick. We'll just check in, like use floor work to check in. At this point, you probably know the drill by now, but let's just do some cat cows and bird dogs just to make sure the spine can move through full range of motion for 10. Once you have your 10, it might take a while, but that's okay. Go ahead to our bird dogs next. Alternate the lost count naturally, as you do. And then let's go with the 90-90s, which you can do like this. Yeah, you can accentuate that as much as you want, Meg. So you don't have to make it as bendy as you like.
Oh, it feels good though when I do.
Yeah, it depends, right? Some people can barely, like this might be enough, like, woo, right? Like their torso is pretty vertical. If you want, you can kind of accentuate this bottom hip. If you'd like as well. So
Before I run, I do these and I but not the back and forth so much, but here and then lift the rear and it really I can feel it. and then this. And then just lifting, doesn't even have to be very much, but just lifting the back leg a little bit really helps engage my butt. So
yeah, actually the sideline clamshell is very similar. The actual mechanism is different, right? Like the physics, but it's the same thing. Same kind of like butt, lateral hip piece. Let's go to standing and complete 10 lunges. And in this case, let's go reverse. If you find that you don't like reverse lunges for whatever reason, it's okay, go forward. But ideally, we're stepping backwards. So when you step backwards, you want to make sure it's nice and also wide, shoulder width, the usual, right? So something that's balanced, not balanced beam, something that feels a little nice and balanced here. We're just gonna go ahead. Your back knee may touch the ground.
alternating or?
A great question. Let's go non-alternating. So let's go 10 on one leg. And we'll just focus on balance. Range of motion's a bonus. We have active bribery happening. Okay. Did you feed her again? She's already been fed. Okay.
She's a master of deception in that category.
No, we're just suckers. The difference. Remind me, Meg, what you have a 9? Do you have a bigger kettlebell or yeah, okay. We'll don't need it for the deadlifts, but for additional warm-up piece. A baby.
Then we have Junior.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
And then we have Chubby.
All of, I would say anything but the baby's going to work here. Basically a front-loaded good morning, right? You've probably done good mornings before, but just in case you haven't. Typically, you want to keep your chest up. We'll usually put a broomstick or PVC pipe around the back for now, or hands behind your head, right? It goes back, which is totally fine on its own. But we can make this front-loaded by grabbing our kettlebell or a dumbbell. I like to put the base of my kettlebell, right? So I kind of have the base on my sternum. Just it's an easy way to hold it. And this is a nice way to do this. You can go as heavy as appropriate, but basically same movement. But I can breathe into my kettlebell, and then as I exhale, stand, which makes it slightly more challenging and a little more core-based, at least for me. My knees are soft and you can't see them right now. We're doing 10 front-loaded good mornings, or just plain old good mornings for anyone who doesn't have the weight, or maybe they're feeling a little sensitive right now. Okay. Go ahead and keep the chest up, Meg. So keep the eyes forward and chest up. Yeah. So yeah, that name tag idea. So whoever's on that wall should see the top of the M of your name the whole time. Yeah. There you go.
I do extra too for my chest up.
Yeah, right. And that's the extension piece, right?
Yep.
Excellent. So take a break on that. We have our split stance Romanian deadlift. Okay, so Romanian deadlifts, we've been doing this for ages now, but the difference between our split stance and not split stance is this. Basically, I have weight in hand that I'm doing two-footed. I'm standing, I go as far as my hip will allow, and then I come back up. Right, pretty straightforward there. Split stance, very similar. My feet are going to be flat here. Oh, sorry, down. In this case, you can load this however you like. So you can go ahead, same leg, right? Or you can go opposite. And then same principle. You're going to just send the hips back, but just split stance it. I'm a little short of my split stance. That's by choice. But ultimately, we're doing 10 per side. If you need to take that into a balanced position instead, all right, just full on, just like we can, we're still going to stay over that front leg. So trying not to use that back leg besides being like a baby kickstand, basically, making sure we don't fall over. Yeah. So you're welcome to remove that weight, especially if that's, I would say falling out of functional. So this hopefully shouldn't affect your workouts negatively. Yeah. It's great. Okay. Ta-da. You didn't do your gymnastics. I don't know if you get style points for the shimmy. I think they might could dock you for the shimmy if you're doing gymnastics. They're very picky, you know.
They are very picky.
Very picky. Sideline clamshells. You might have seen these already. Yeah, a band is optional. I don't happen to have one, but Meg does, which is great. The sideline element, right, is going to be, it's not quite a side plank. It's a bit like, honestly, kind of looks like a pinup girl. That's what I think of, right? Right. But when I'm doing this, my ankles, my hips are slightly behind my shoulder. And what I'm going to do is press my bottom knee down. If you have a band, the top leg will engage as well. I don't, so it's not. I'm going to go ahead and then push my bottom knee down, open up. So from now, I'm going to be in a plank shape. So this is going to be hip, so shoulder and hip in line, and then they kind of go back. Right. And we're going to do 10 per set. If you are doing this unbanded, it's mostly that bottom leg and that bottom glute / side piece. If you are doing it banded, you might feel it on both, right? When you do this too, see if you can bring your hip forward. So it's when your knees are down, right? I'm in like a little zigzag. And when I come forward, my hips come off the ground. So there's a gap. So it's like hip down, hip up, hip down. So one rep is going to be touch the hip on the ground, bring the hip up, touch the hip down, and then you will kind of follow.
Oh, down and then
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
So that you go into like full hip extension, as in like you open up the hip at the top. So from the side, how do you show this? So from the side, right? This is me, right? When I'm on the side, and as I move, I come into my knee braces, and I come back. Extend.
Yep.
So it's a little less like a thigh master in that you're just you're not doing abduction, adduction, right? So internal, external. It's more you're simultaneously opening the hip, and in this case, yeah, there you go. And if the band's too much, take the band out. Sometimes
Ooh.
the bands can be, and then of course we're gonna switch sides. We're gonna flip it over.
I just
You
did.
know already.
I did.
Lovely. Cool. That's one round. We're gonna do 2 more.
Oh, excellent.
And for your single leg the deadlifts, go ahead and just take that balance or weight wise. So whichever feels like something that will help you later today or long run versus don't let your coach yell at you for this. Go. That's not the loudest free hub we have in the house either.
I think the weight is helping me balance, I think.
Yeah, like I said, as long as the stuff doesn't feel distracting, right? It's helpful, but not distracting. Good. I didn't know you were riding there. I thought you were driving.
Yeah, I'm right.
You want to see Nikki's rocking the TMT kit?
When am I getting my unicorn jersey?
Oh, soon. They ship this week.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah. I'm
You
still
had me a unicorn. I was
Just
like,
as I contemplate buying more spandex.
yeah, I saw that and I was like, unicorn. And I was like, well, I have to get that.
I know, right? Oh, wait, you guys are obviously not able to make Ironman California, but that we're gonna be out in the Netherlands like
Yeah.
we were before. so that we can cheer people up, but we're putting a tent there. Stacy's putting his truck, which has power, you know, because you can park it right there. So we'll have power, so we'll have big speakers. And if you two can keep a secret, not only do we have my blow up unicorn outfit,
Naturally.
I got these unicorn skeleton inflatables that are on sale for Halloween. And I was like, hello, it's 3 days before Halloween. These light up unicorn skeletons are gonna look great in the middle of nowhere in the night. It's gonna be fantastic. So
And that right there is why triathlon is expensive. Not bikes, not spandex.
no, it's auxiliary shit.
I don't
Hey,
know.
coaching expense, Nikki. I don't hear it.
That is a business expense. It's for business.
What about the unicorn?
That is a business expense.
I know.
Both the glow in the dark, which is a bonus, but also the blow up one.
Nikki will appreciate this hilarious story. I got a message from Fuel In asking if I was going to be in Hawaii so we could have a unicorn off for if I was going to be in Kona. And I was like, no, I'm in California. And they were like, excellent. They were like, we're really sad they're the same day, the same weekend. So you can represent. So I'm both the TMT and Fuel In unicorn for the day.
Perfect.
I just thought it was really funny. It was like, hey, are you bringing your unicorn to Kona? I'm like, no.
No.
I was like, I have one.
The unicorn thing that won't shut up.
The unicorn that won't show up is me. They're quiet unicorns. Who gave that unicorn a bullhorn?
Oh, bullhorns are dangerous. People just I feel like people have alter egos when it comes to having bullhorns.
Yeah, because I don't have to save my voice. When
Yeah.
I'm yelling, I have to think about the fact that, I won't be able to talk in an hour.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I used to have a coxswain in college, and in spring season we'd race every weekend. So
Yeah.
and have practices during the week. And she would lose her voice mid-season every year.
I sound like Minnie Mouse when I lose my voice. I used to, when I was touring, I would, because you're yelling at stagehands, I would lose my voice all the time.
Yeah. She'd have to have, we gave her a whiteboard to put in class.
Oh,
She'd
that's
take her
hilarious.
hand and then write down her answer because she'd have to talk like this all week. And then she gets to race day and like, okay, starboard side, blah, blah, blah. And
That's
then
hilarious.
3, 2, 1, go. Her voice is on for 8 minutes and shuts off. Like, okay, wait enough. She can do it for like, however, or 8 minutes or less, depending on the course. But she was able to turn it on for 8 minutes and then went back to okay. Whispering into the microphone.
That's hilarious. Yeah, everybody used to like get excited if I lost my voice because then I would still have to tell people what to do, but I'd sound like Minnie Mouse.
That's when you need a bullhorn. Like, okay.
It's hey, the $15 Amazon Megan phone is the best invention ever.
I have a friend who this fits, this tracks, but like they put a bunch of like studs on the outside, like metal studs.
I never thought of it. I could bedazzle my Megan phone.
Absolutely. So this friend put like metal studs, which kind of like tracked the personality, like the whole like that makes sense. But like you can bedazzle and put studs on it, or just bedazzle.
There you go. I was never much of a bedazzler when I was a teenager because it wasn't like it was too girly and not punk enough for me.
Yeah, totally.
That person. But at this point,
Well, at this point, you can be punk and bedazzle. I feel like there's space for that.
oh, I don't care what people think.
Yeah, that's
I
what
like
I'm noticing about every decade that passes. Right? People typically, like all my friends had the "oh my God, I'm 30" moment, right? Or "oh my God, I'm turning whatever their number is." And I was like, guys, I'm not 20. Suck it. I was like, nailed it. What's up? Okay, please be careful. Turn your lights
Please be careful, Mr. Nikki.
So
Meg's gonna stalk you on Strava.
I will.
Circles. You're just gonna see the polo fields today.
Oh, exciting.
10-mile time trial.
Oh, that's right. I did see that.
TT.
I'm gonna go run in circles after this. So there you have it. I'm gonna go over to Niwot track because Magnus Ditliv is here and I'm really hoping to run into him. We'll see.
Celebrity sighting.
I skipped Masters last week and did my swim close to home, and Magnus went to my Masters. I cried.
Yeah, that's sad when you miss a celebrity sighting.
Well, we get celebrity sightings all the time, but that one's not a normal for Boulder.
Right. Yeah. I forgot, and I have to check my facts here. There was a very well-known, well, I say well-known triathlete who obviously don't know, but Christian something.
Blumenfeld,
Yeah.
Christian Blumenfeld, KB, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess according to GCN, his coach had claimed or had like openly said he was going to try to win the Tour de France.
Yes, but now he's not. Now he's going to stay in triathlon because he wants to win. Because what he wanted, which by the way, I think even KB knew that was like a.
Then why announce it on the coach's end? Like it's not KB's fault. I'm just saying, but like why join the pro peloton and then then say that?
Yeah, but now he's not going to join the pro peloton because so he wanted to win. Because he is an Olympic gold medalist and he is a world champion from not from Kona. He runs St. George. So what he wants to do is win the Olympics, win Kona, or whatever Ironman world champion that year, and then win the 70.3 world champion and do all of those in 1 year. He did not win the Olympics this year. And the thing is, it's like that going from short course back to long course, and it freaks people out. And so he did not win this year. So now he wants to do it in the next 4-year cycle. He thinks he still can. So we'll see. But
I think it's not, he's clearly, without a doubt, a very, very good athlete.
Oh yeah.
That's not the question. And that's not, I think what was a bit insulting was suggesting.
Oh no, I agree.
Or his coach suggesting, I won't speak for KB, but his coach outwardly saying he wants to win. Well, who doesn't want to win the Tour de France? But saying that you're going to win it when you have Tade and Jonas and Remco and all these other people who are, that's all they do. And it's not just about how strong you are. It's about race tactics. It's luck. It's team.
I think KB would phrase it like, I want to do this, right? Like, that's my goal. I want to do this. Olaf is the kind of guy who says he's going to do this.
I think that makes KB look like an asshole. Like I'm sure he's not, but like
I think Olaf is a bit of an asshole. But hey, now it's on. This is now on YouTube for all to see. Don't no one will ever find it, but it's okay. All right.
Anyway, here we are. Okay, so we have a 10-minute AMRAP. Again, feel free to adjust accordingly. So we can do something a little bit different, but as written, it is working for 10 minutes. We're going to complete 8 goblet lunges. It doesn't say which direction. I didn't specify, so you can go backwards or forwards on your lunge in this case. The goblet position, pretty straightforward. Essentially, you're going to carry this weight at your chest in some way, shape, or form. I have a kettlebell. A dumbbell works fine here. And essentially, you're going to either step forward, right? Lunge. Or, I don't have room here. We'll go backwards. Right? But we're going to stay on one leg, right? For 8. And then you're going to then switch sides. You can, of course, rest at any point. So that's within a set, at the end of a set, or otherwise. Your second, not really movement, so much as a hold, is a hollow hold or hollow rock. So ultimately, it is I'll show you the full version, show you the rocking version, and then anything in between. So our hollow rock or hollow hold is going to be fully extended, toes pointed. I'm going to go diagonal on this so you can see me here. My low back is in contact with the ground. It's going to be here. This is my hollow hold. My low back's on the ground. If I can't hold that very long, if I'm being honest, so I might bring a knee in towards my chest or both knees. My shoulders are off the ground. And this little jelly bean position is perfectly fine, by the way. We're just holding that position, tucking the pelvis, right? Keep the lower back or belly button towards your spine on the ground, okay? Option 2, of course, is going to be the rock. So that's where we're either in sort of any version where we maintain that tension, but we're rocking back and forth. That might be too much for some, so you don't have to rock, but it's still for time, okay? Second piece of this is going to be Superman. So this is going to be great for a little upper back extension piece. So you're going to be on your belly, thumbs pointed up, and your toes together. So no spread out toes, toes together, elbows straight. So if you need to go in a Y shape, Y shape's fine. You can drop the head if it helps. Okay. And then you go ahead, lift the hands, squeeze your butt. Right. You can lift up the feet as well, but keep the toes together. So we're full kind of whole extension, toes stay together. And we're going to do 10 Supermans. So you're going to lift, you can go, if you lift just the hands, that's more of a mid to low back piece for me. If you lift, when I lift hands and feet, it's more kind of whole extension. So yes, upper back, but also my butt too. And then finally, 20 mountain climbers. We're going to count each knee raise as one. So you can do your mountain climbers, right? Stepping, you can jump, or if you're this guy, that's fine too. But all of the above work just fine. High knees are fine if you don't want to be in a plank. Depending on what you've got going on, specifically, Meg, if you need to remove the mountain climbers, that just brings your heart rate up. You can just nix that right out. So up to you.
I probably need them. We'll give it a shot on the first round and see how much I want to kill you. Just kidding. The more I want to kill you, the more I need
It's just payback for the 40-20s that you gave me last week. So
oh, that's such a good workout though.
that was like so many intervals.
So many intervals, but so good. All right.
Yeah, I was like first 10, I was like, it's fine. Second 8, I was like, mean. 6, I was like, stop it. Stop it. It's like, leave me alone.
I think around 6, I'm like,
yeah. It got like the first 10, I was like, I can do 10. 10's fine. And then 8's like, oof, we're getting mean. All right. 3, 2, 1, and go. Resting is needed. We have 8 per side. Ooh. Good. Switching legs, and then for that hollow hold or hollow rock, you can count, or I can count for you, right?
reset.
Yep, there you go. If at any point, Meg, you need, I have the clock going here. If you need to tuck in any of your like one knee, two knees, hands down, you know, like a little compact shape, that's okay. If you have it on your low back, it's probably a bit too much. 3, 2, 1, and yeah, I know they're terrible. Yeah, I feel like the low back's coming off or like the hip flexors are kicking in, you can start to just become more compact as a whole, as long as you're kind of in a little like pelvis tucked position. Just take your position, inverse it, basically. And for you're doing 10 Superman, so we're just going for reps here. You're reaching for height, but also for length. So you're reaching towards the ends, opposite ends of your room. Yeah, nice job. Great. And last but not least, 20 mountain climbers. So that was about 2.5 minutes. So that's going to be probably around total of 4 rounds-ish. I mean, assuming you stay at the same pace. So you're not going to be doing any more than 4 rounds on this, chances are.
I don't know if you're trying to say I was slow or not.
No. I'm just saying, like, I was doing some rough math, trying to figure out sticking with the 10-minute time frame, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of it's a bit like quick interval math. It's like, okay, we're like, if I have, or how fast am I going, or how far will I get? In this case, I got you on the clock here for your hollow hold. Like thinking like total volume, like what would you approximately get, right? And if we need to adjust that accordingly. Godsmith. Good. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Beautiful work. I know it's a long time.
Yeah, I just don't want I just try not to let my lower back pop up too much.
Yeah, and if that's the case, like, so I can't do the whole thing, and like I can hold the hollow position for like 10 or 15 seconds before I start to get a little back heavy. It's
Yeah.
okay to draw the knee into your chest, or at least one knee in. It helps kind of maintain that position and also makes it less hard. Get those toes together. Yeah. Good. It's like swimming with blocks. From what I understand. Good. Lovely. The nice thing about something like this with these sort of as many rounds as possible or as many reps as possible is it's a choose your own adventure. You can go crazy hard, as in heavy, and or fast. Or you can do it at, I would say, a solid zone 2. Just roll it, super consistent. I would say just be responsible with your choices.
I'm going for solid zone, upper zone 2.
Great. Perfect. If it helps, you can start in that tuck position as well. Have you? Yeah. If it's getting too much, bring one knee towards your chest and you keep one leg extended. Yeah. Yep. There you go. That's your 20 seconds. You can go for 10 more if you'd like. You do not have to. You're in bonus time. In 3, 2, 1, rest. Work.
Every second I hold it is one less second of mountain climbers.
That's true. That's true. I mean, look, the mountain climbers here are meant to be just to elevate the heart rate a little bit. So if you want to get creative with that, you can insert your own version.
I'm doing them. They might not be pretty, but I'm doing them. I won't win any crusted awards, but they're done.
I don't think anyone looks good doing mountain climbers. Look, if I could, I mean, you're pretty well equipped in your gym, but if I could have people stepping up on things, right?
I do want to box at some point because that is one of my weaknesses for sure. So
It's also like forget me, yeah, box jumps are great, but like stepping up versus just like producing force to move up is a highly functional because we do it all the time. You have stairs, right? All sorts of things. Um, your trail running, hiking, also very useful. But also, I mean, you can do so much with just the box is such like a universal tool you can use for so many things. But most people don't have a box. There we go. Yeah, and the higher your feet are, the easier this is. I have you on the clock. I say easier, less hard. I'll rephrase that.
yeah, I just sometimes like, okay, this is how low I can go without my back popping.
Yeah, so just bring your knee, one knee towards your chest. Yeah, there we go. That's great. 3, 2, 1, rest. Yes, the principle around this is going to be the more compact you are, this is still like my pelvis is still tucked. And I still feel it here as opposed to my hip flexors or my low back. So if you were like, whoa, that's too much, this is fine. This is fine, right? I still feel like I'm working appropriately. But if I hold this for 30 seconds, you betcha I'm gonna have some like low back stuff going on because I can't hold it that long. There you go. We're reaching up, but also out. So we're looking for a bit of length on this Superman. I want a better name for that, but I can't think of one. But it does look like Superman, so I guess I see where they get it from. Can we call them Tinkerbells? Lovely. You have 20 more seconds. Ta-da! And that's it. Should you like to choose, you can finish off that 8 on the other side. If you're uneven for 8 reps, it's not the end of the world. Go ahead and rest. You are officially done. Ta-da!